Hello everyone. I'm going to keep this to 5 responses to the claim so far and how to respond. So the first one I got was, I'm not really sure what this is about, to which I can respond and I will share that. Don't worry about that. The main thing is to make sure that the CEO is notified of this confirmation of ownership and who the beneficiaries are of the trust. Just that. And then the second question, which was, why are the account numbers different on the 3 verifications? Now, because the courts were involved in that 2007 2008 verification, they had to be so the funds had to be verified. However, the banks clearly wanted to hide them again because they had obviously been in place, if you remember, it's not just 14 years ago, which is handy because all the people who signed that document are still going strong in executive positions. But equally, in 2008, there was already a plan in place for the big crash and to say that the banks couldn't manage and we needed to bail them out. So if it had come to light that easily, that we just had confirmed absolutely trillions of dollars available to us and indentured for us and to be made available to us, and the funds confirmed, that would have put paid to that other plan. So that is another reason why the money was hidden again, and hidden by putting it under different email addresses, account numbers, excuse me. The third question was, who actually place this money? Because what we found out this week, as we have been able to start a new account through which the funds can be received, and the mechanisms for paying out are being shaped up as we speak. There has been the question, who actually in the first place deposited these funds in every nation back in 1969, 68, around that time, 67, 66, even some. And that was the 17 powers of attorney that appointed Adrian Fons as Monetary One. So it was those 17 who organised those, and because it got so heated and difficult, the last remaining few that hadn't been deposited yet were handled by the World Bank. So we have that World Bank document. And so the question then is, there was another question as to where the court order is. And the court order is attached to that public notice that we're sending out. And there's been a further ruling in the trust's favour from the Supreme Court in America this week. So when you first hear back, before I go into that, the other question is, how is the payout going to work? What are we actually asking them to do? And so the simplest way I've found to put it is that this is the beneficiaries are all of humanity. So it's not just projects. The very first mechanism that we can ask to be honoured, which will, instead of being a threat to an already bankrupt series of banks, they think are bankrupt. The modern day current managers probably think are bankrupt. Is to establish a relief payment. A relief payment. This has already been done in Australia. That an executive order was created and demanded a $10,000 relief payment to all, to the entire population. And this is a way that instead of being a threat, it's a way to show a great credit facility which will actually kickstart economies in a really productive and prosperous way. So I think they're all the things that that I was asked, so when you go in and they don't know about, or they say, actually, I don't think these exist, say, well, from your point of view, they may be difficult to find because they've been hidden from you too, the current managers and definitely lower staff. But we have found you'll always be able to find the backtrack of the people who have been controlling the funds in each nation, so that current managers can authorise that audit and can find those accounts, and must make note of the fact that the trust are the owners and the trust and the people are the beneficiaries. That's all they need to make note of for the moment, and then. And you don't have to, in terms of corruption, the corruption isn't necessarily their responsibility as long as they act now, because they also don't know. That's what the Australian trustees found, co-trustees found, that many of the people working now in banks don't know about these massive deposits in their vaults, and they were real deposits of these great assets of value.